In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the Rectangular Pattern tool in Inventor Fusion. Before we begin, let's create a feature that will pattern a hole. The depth will be 5 millimeters, and the diameter of my hole is going to be 5 millimeters also. Lastly, let's position the hole from this edge, 10 millimeters, and enter. And from this edge as well, 10 millimeters also. Press enter to accept, and let's click OK. Here's the Rectangular Pattern tool. Let's click on it to activate it. The first thing we need to do is select the object to pattern. Next, we select the direction to pattern. In the graphic area, we've got yellow and red handles, and we can grab and drag them to adjust the number of instances and the spacing. And here's our pattern. If we click on Instances, we can see the number of instances, 3. Direction of the pattern. We can use one direction, or we can have a symmetric pattern. Let me show you an example of a symmetric pattern. Now you can see it better. Basically, it just goes in both directions. Let's go back to one direction. Under Extent, we'll make the total distance 80 millimeters. And 80 millimeters in this direction also. We can set the number of instances right in these input fields. Instead of extent, or that's the total distance, we can use the spacing pattern type to determine the placement of the pattern. Let's go back to extent. Lastly, here's the option to skip instances if we need to. And let's click OK to accept our pattern. And here is the result of our work. To edit our pattern, we can right-click on its node in the browser and select Edit Pattern. And then we can change any of the parameters either in the ribbon or in the graphic area. I'll just cancel out of that. Let me activate the Press Pull tool and make some changes to my seed feature. I'll select this face. Let's change the radius of my hole to 4 millimeters. Now, as you see, the radius of all the instances updates. Let's select a different instance and see what happens. Let's use a radius of 2 millimeters. OK. And the pattern changes as well. This concludes our tutorial of how to apply a rectangular pattern in Inventor Fusion.